Hello dear students, as we have started taking into consideration first two parts of the poem 2.5 Father Returning Home. This is the last segment of this poem in which we are going to study the remaining lines of this poem. The first line, which reads as, "A few droplets cling to the graying hair." The father of the poet has become very old. After washing his hands, his gray hair, the color of the hair, one can understand that due to old age, has become white. And a few droplets of water have been there onto his hair, the graying hair, it is said that, and he wanted to wash those droplets afterwards. In the next line, his sullen children have often refused to share. Now one can understand that children are sullen, very bad tempered by nature at home. They did not communicate their feelings with father at home, and that was the reason why the father felt alienated, estranged from the rest of the family members. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. Now, refusal of the children to share jokes and secrets indicates that they are angry, generation gap, or lack of concern towards their father. That was the thing one can understand with the help of this line. Children do not take care of the father at home. They do not like to share their joys, secrets, jokes with the father, and because of this fact, father felt very angry towards the children. He will now go to sleep. Now, after having done a lot of work throughout the day, the whole day he had spent in working, he became very tired, dull, and that's why the mention of it is done. He wanted to take some kind of rest in order to feel fresh. He wants to re-energize himself, and that's why it is said that he will now go to sleep. He wanted to take rest, and that's why he would like to have a little bit sleep. Listening to the static on the radio, dreaming. Now the old people like to listen to the radio sets at home. They have enough books, they can read at the same time, they can dream a lot. While sleeping, they dream of certain things, and those things are mentioned here. Of his ancestors, the forefathers, those who used to take care when he was very young at that time, and grandchildren thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. The forefathers, the ancestors of the father of the poet, had come through a narrow pass, a small way. outside the country they have entered into the country of India, and they got some kind of place to stay in the country. And all these things the father of the poet remembered. They came over there, they stayed there, they created their stay in India, and how they came from different places, especially a subcontinent, through a narrow pass. That was the indication of they had taken trouble as a unit while staying in India. But while spending much of his time, he felt loneliness. The feelings of alienation, estrangement have been the significant feature of this poem. The poet has described the loneliness, alienation, estrangement, solitude, especially about his father. He did not like to make his mind clear. He did not express himself a lot with the family members. He felt alienated at home, and throughout this poem we have taken into consideration the personal solitude of the poet's father. Dear students, from this poem we have come to know different aspects of the poet's father to a larger extent. The more you understand this poem minutely with great care, the better it will be for you while writing different answers that are expected to be written on your part. I hope you must have understood the poem thoroughly. If you take a close look at the title, you can understand that the title is very suggestive. The poem is about the father of the poet himself. He has described all the aspects, features of the father who felt alienated because at home the children did not like to share their joys and sorrows with the father, and it was the father who spent much of his time in the toilet to contemplate about certain things, and he had enough books in order to spend much of his time while reading. He got enough knowledge of the world and other things at the same time. But at home he got stale food, which was the indication that he did not enjoy his life, that is the latter part of his life, enjoyably, pleasingly well, and he was offered weak tea, which is the indication that the family members did not take care of him thoroughly, properly, and he felt alienated from the rest of the family members. And he dreamed of various things, that the place he came from and with the way he made use of while entering into the subcontinent, that is the part of India, and he created his own place, even though he tries his level best to give the satisfactorily all the pleasures to the family members, but he did not get the same kind of respect, treatment from the family members. So, dear students, I hope you must have understood all the explanation given by me. If you have any queries, difficulties, do ask Do share your views and do likes the video, because we get a great deal of energy from your support, from your encouragement. We keep on compiling various videos in the best interest of you. I thank all of you to be part of this session, and you have made your presence felt. For that sake, I am really proud of all of you. Thank you all. We will meet again in the next class, in which we are going to study the next topic with great gusto. Thank you all.